you help me with Sunny, MaddCow? Because I feel like I'm a horrible Sunny.
Okay. Yeah. Is it that you don't feel that you're contributing to your team? Do you feel what is it about Sunny that you don't feel meshes?
I feel like I'm really bad with trying to get the jetpack booster in time, and then I feel like the shield drone, even if I do place in good spots, just isn't used, which I'm not sure if that's me or my team.
So Sunny is kind of a mix between. The reason why Bucket is considered to be a terrible character is because the team actually has to work with Bucket, not the other way around. So when Bucket starts setting up turrets, if your hunters are running away from those turrets, they should be slapped in the face with a fish because you're basically negating your support. And Sunny is kind of a mix of both. So she does have a drone that can be deployed. So basically, Sunny is going to be the dictator of, okay, let's fight up here. So I'm going to put my drone in this location, and this is where we're going to be mostly fighting. So you do want to kind of communicate a little bit saying, hey, deploying the drone up here. And that usually comes better with team synergy and when you're actually more comfortable with working each other. And when you get similar dome areas, you kind of have a go-to spot, if that makes sense. But the biggest thing is trying to get the team to recognize where your drone is and try to fight around there as much as possible. And then with the boost, if you realize somebody's not using the boost, sometimes you have to call it out. Generally, I don't like keeping the comms full of, hey, I'm boosting you now, because it should be painfully obvious for people, but some people are in the moment and don't not always notice when they're being boosted. So if you do notice that you're boosting somebody and they're not using it for some reason, keep telling them, and eventually they'll get to the habit where they're actually looking at their jetpack bar when they're playing with Sunny more often. Also, her weapon, I only really use it if my shield drone is down, everyone's at full health, and the monster is just playing passive-aggressive and not really engaging somebody. And I almost always use it when the monster is behind a wall because it's got a really big explosion radius, and it's kind of like Cabot. You can't really shoot through walls, but you can kind of do a lot of damage from where the monster might think he's safe behind a pillar or something.
So basically, stage 1 dome jetpacking boosting in the dome or no?
Say that again?
Stage 1 jetpack boost in the dome, yes or no?
I would probably do it on the assault just to keep the assault in the monster's face, because if the assault is putting on a ton of pressure on the monster in the dome, that's much better than your shield drone, because the monster's not going to be doing very much damage anyway. And so you'll be putting a lot of pressure on the monster because the assault's going to be literally on the monster's ass the entire time. So I feel that, yes, to use it, because her damage, her damage can be good, but I usually think that her boosting to get the assault in position is a million times better.
Alright. So stage 1 boosts the assault to be really annoying. Stage 2 and 3 just boost out damage if I can.
Usually, yes.
And assault.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a balance. Basically, if you need to put more damage, you can use it on the assault. Usually the assault should have enough jetpack management skills that they don't really rely on that, but with an evasive monster, that's what you're going to be doing anyway, so it just helps the assault just stay in position more often. Usually at stage 2 and stage 3, it's the same thing with using jetpack. So a lot of people jetpack, they'll try and avoid melee swipes, they'll try to avoid flame breath. That was something else I tried to mention, but I forgot. I really should write this down eventually when I'm doing coaching, because I'll say something and I won't remember it until many games later. If you're being flame breath and you're within 10 meters of the monster, absolutely don't waste your jetpack. Don't use a cloak if you're on fire. I saw that a few times. It wasn't the most horrible of plays, but just be careful because there's no reason to do it, because you're just going to be monster food. But the big thing is using your jetpack. Stage 1 jetpack in combat should really be positional more often than not, and then in stage 2 and stage 3 it's kind of positional and kind of defensive. And the reason why a lot of good monsters and good hunter teams play very differently is because hunters won't try and jetpack and dodge every single move. That's a good way for a good monster to kill you, is because then you'll be out of jetpack for the stronger abilities. For Goliath, it's pretty much rock throw and leap smash. Those are the only ones you want to try and avoid. For Kraken, it's usually lightning strike and aftershock. For Wraith, it's pretty much warp blast and once in a while supernova if the monster has supernova. But each monster usually has 2 damage abilities, and that's what you save your jetpack for, not every single other thing, because that's what the medic is. The medic is basically designed to heal through melee hits and weak less powerful moves, if that makes sense. So Banshee Mines and Vortex, yeah, it sucks to get blown away, but the damage is relatively small compared to eating a Vortex or sorry, a Lightning Strike or an Aftershock. So you always want to use your Jetpack to avoid the 2 strong moves of the monster's skill set, or let's say you engage in a stage 2 monster. Once you recognize what he has 3 points in, because no monster with Assault is not going to have a 3-point ability, with the possible exception of Behemoth, at stage 2. So you always want to recognize what that skill is, and if it's 3 points in 3 points in Vortex, 1 in Lightning, 1 in Aftershock, you kind of get a feel of what those skills are, and you guys are pretty good about calling out, oh, he's got 2 in this, 1 in that, so you kind of get to know those, and then you just basically avoid the big 3-pointers or the high leap, smash, rock throw, those kinds of abilities. A lot of times hunters were trying to dodge all the abilities, and then that just makes your Jetpack dry, and then you're just useless. You can't chase the monster, and then you're just going to eat a big damage in the face.
I hate Behemoth.
Sounds good.
What was that, Killer?
I hate Behemoth.
Behemoth, I like. He's fun to play as, but the big problem with Behemoth is he struggles against good hunters that know how to use elevation. Like, Behemoth is very, very... Like, if you can find a couple... Like, I'll have to link a video. There. Hold on, let me find it real quick.
You don't need to tell us what a good one is. Call Shenanigans beat us. That's the only reason why I hate it. It's just because I got beat by Call Shenanigans, like, getting watched on the ESL stream.
But yeah, there was a video where we basically didn't have an assault, and we got to stage 3, and it was me, the support, and the healer, and we pretty much almost downed the monster. I think he had like a bar, maybe a bar and a half of health left, because we were abusing verticality. Like, Behemoth struggles like hell, and that's one of the reasons why you won't ever see it in competitive games, because if the dome has any elevation, a good hunter team will absolutely wreck a Behemoth.
Yep.
Wraith isn't super viable just because I honestly think that the best strategy against Wraith, dome it once it hits stage 2, like hold the dome, wait for stage 2, do as much damage as you can when it first evolves, and then camp the relay. Like, a good hunter team should never lose against a Wraith with that strategy, because the Wraith absolutely sucks against a relay fight, barring 1 or 2 maps. But for the most part, Wraith struggles against a bunker team very, very much.
Cookie, do you want us to verse MaddCow, or do you want me to get like Black Tide in here, or what?
It's up to you guys. I mean, honestly, I don't mind going against MaddCow. Like, from what I hear, he's a hell of a player, so that would be fun to go against. Plus, we do need to start matching up our hunter team against various monsters. What better time to do it than now, you know? If you have another monster that you guys would rather fight, go ahead and bring them in, you know?
That way, the benefit would be if we have another monster besides MaddCow, then we have him to be able to watch everything as opposed to just what he sees when he's fighting us.
Yeah.
I'm blind, my friend. MaddCow, do you want to invite Black Tide to the game?
Sure. Is he online right now?
I don't know. I'm being blind on my friend. Oh, yes, I can't see him. I got it, actually. Or we could both.
No worries. That being the case, while I would love to play Monster, I'm really badly out of practice. I'm very much a perfectionist, and so I hate myself whenever I play Monster, because I'm I think I did coaching for a month straight, and then I tried to hop into a Monster, and my Monster skills were very, very lacking.
Well, you saw my Monster skills. I don't think it can be any more lacking than that. I haven't played Monster since like the beta, I believe it is.
Hey Groovy, welcome to the channel.
And that was, I don't know, like almost a year ago.
I don't know.
So.
I mean, you haven't seen MMO play.
I don't know if you can get much worse than how I did, so.
Got a lot from that. I'm gonna do that every time I can, just make a reference that none of you guys are gonna get.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, I lost all his words according to my little counter.
If only Vertigo still like this game, then we could have really good mech come help us.
Any word from Tyrant?
I have not gotten a response from him.
Alright, well, if we don't get a response, we can just throw MaddCow in. It sucks to put him on the spot like that, but
That's fine.
that's really only our choice right now.
Yeah, people can make fun of my horrible monster skill. Like, my hunter skill is pretty up to par for the most part, but my monster skill, I'm just out of practice.
I can understand that because there are also times when I'm playing my game and I throw it on orbital, and I just think MaddCow's gonna yell at me for that orbital. You don't need to tell me. I knew what I did wrong.
Zadam. Hey, deviating. Thanks for the confidence. I'm a very big perfectionist, and I'm not saying that I'm a horrible monster player. I know I could be better if I practiced and actually played the game instead of coached it, because I haven't played a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and mute you guys real quick, or myself.
Cool.
Sound muted.
And while that happens, I'm gonna take a quick leak, because being monster when you need a pee sucks. Be right back. Okie dokie, he's back. Okay. I feel more confident in Kraken, but I think Kraken's not in a spectacular place because he really relies on Aftershock to be really good right now, and I hate Aftershock. So I might be Goliath here. Glass Savage. Okie dokie. Okay. Groovy. Reload is pretty good with Slim because it benefits all of your abilities, not just his gun. So the difference between reload speed and capacity is that reload will actually give you your heal burst up in 3 shots instead of 4. So it's usually more consistent heal burst as opposed to burst, which is what capacity does. That was a horrible... Oh crap, sorry, Steam overlay popped up. Oh, they have Gobi. I didn't even see what their hunters for election were. I'll take the combat perk. So they have Hyde, Kyra, and I don't know who else they have. So I won't get domed here. I'll probably take a little bit of damage, but that's okay. But it should allow me to get to the other side of the river, which I'm fine with. I guess I don't know why I didn't take any more damage to that. That was a stupid leap smash. That was not a very good. Oh my gosh. Am I really gonna have to kill this Mega Mouth? I think so. That's crappy. 3 climbs. Man, no good food. Really? No spawns? Blah. 1 Reaver. This is gonna be bad. So my next engagement's not gonna be anywhere near as good. He did not climb up like I thought he would. How does that That should have hit.
Sound resumed.
Man, so many of my rocks were missing. Like, I saw them impact you guys, and you take like a sliver of health and not the full thing.
Yeah, like that one right at the very end. That one
Yeah.
for sure I got hit and I took no damage. I was like, whew, thank you.
There one at me that was also just a tiny sliver.
I remember I jumped into one for you guys.
I jumped into hit too. Didn't realize it that low though.
Good times.
Definitely a good game.
It's always
Good
fun
game.
jumping into a rock to save a teammate.
Hey, that's important. The assault taking damage anywhere you can, it's always important. So a lot of the maps were changed to prevent cheesing at the relay. So the hunters had a really strong end game on a lot of relays, so a lot of them was changed.
I know you're playing monster, but how did my Sunny play look?
Your Sunny was pretty good. Be
Did
careful
you
about
want it back
boost.
out?
No, that's fine. The big thing to watch out for is if you were boosting people and like I never like a lot of the times I'd be throwing rocks and for some reason like I just wasn't hitting the trapper when you were boosting them. So just be careful if you are boosting them that the monster just doesn't go and capitalize on that. Because there were a couple of times when you're out of position that if a rock would actually have connected, it would have been a huge detriment. Yeah, I don't know. My rocks were just not hitting. So just be careful that you're not overextending your chain, if that makes sense. Because you want it, like when you're chasing the monster, if the monster is not being permanently tranked or harpooned, you definitely want to have everybody being boosted at the same time so everyone gets to the engagement instead of just one person who's leaps and bounds and your assault and medic are lagging behind. Also, don't stand near the Sunny drone for anyone. It makes it very, very easy for the monster to just go and eat them both.
I did like you just eating the leads, killing it instead.
What was that?
We just use the lead to kill instead of actually hitting any of us with it.
Yep.
Well, I'd rather him lead the shield drone than lead bus. That's just my personal preference as a medic.
I prefer him
Makes
just
it a lot.
to, like lie down and die, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
Alright.
Sound muted.
Okie dokie, let's see if I can redeem myself. I really want to stay away from Aftershock. Aftershock is the lame. I think I benefit from movement speed with him. Let's do cooldown. I need my combat skills back up to par. Let me go ahead.
We had another
Sound
monster
resumed.
going, but
Sorry about that. I didn't know that Black was coming in.
yeah, it's not my
okay.
fault.